At a population of 5, you'll begin having to take care of your heating needs in your village. Early on, this is probably best accomplished by simply having your woodworking station and getting yourself to make firewood as soon as possible. Each log can be turned into each single log, one log, can be turned into 8 firewood. So, with most of our heating, it's going to be better to look at what's going on in the spreadsheet and then we'll come back to the game. So as you can see here, we can get heating needs from some fairly basic resources. I don't find these worthwhile because at 1 per, it's really not worth it. And this one you definitely don't want to do because paper bark is way more worthwhile to make paper. Firewood gives you 5 needs per, which means that if we can get 8 firewood per log, we're taking care of 40 40 heating needs per single log, which is great. But as soon as you can make charcoal, which is going to get you 2 charcoal per 1 firewood, then you're getting 16 charcoal per log, which turns into 160 heating needs rather quickly. This is a very nice, easy conduit to get yourself heating needs quickly. Oil is better, hands down. You can get oil by having a fishing hut and by catching fish, having them in your storage, and then with one of your workers at the exact same location at your fishing hut, you can have them turn the fish and water into oil, but you can only do so for 40 out of 100. So look at the needs taken care of here though. If you max that out with one worker, it's 1,800 heating needs. That's great. Now, things get better when you get to the kitchen. When you get to the kitchen, 3 canola and 1 oil, by making the oil press, allows you to make 125 workers slots worth of work, turns into 5,625 heating needs. That's crazy. And that is it. You are done making your heating needs for a long time as soon as you are able to just get some canola going. Keeping in mind that canola is grown on a land field and can only be grown during the summer, but you can buy it from merchants in Aratane. There is a route to get straw cloaks, and 35 straw at the tailor hut will knit you up a straw cloak, and that straw cloak will get you 140 heating needs per cloak. I don't find this to be very efficient because I want to use my straw for making rope, for making fishing nets, for making my roofs, for making things. So I don't tend to do this because it doesn't seem like it's a good use of my resources. As we look at when things are unlocked and when we can get access to these things, you'll find that getting the woodcutter's hut by level 3 is going to happen rather fast. The first few quests that you do in the game will get you the woodcutter's hut quickly, and then you'll easily be at level 4 rather quickly in the game, meaning that you can get oil from fish workers pretty quick. The challenge is going to be getting to the kitchen, which is at level 9, which will take a little bit of time, and then you'll be able to make the oil press. But keep in mind, you have an entire spring to go level up, to build things, to get your free XP from building your things for the first time, and then you'll be at a kitchen before you know it. Probably within your first year, and if not, it's okay, because you can still make oil from the fisherman's hut, or continue to do the charcoal kiln for your charcoal. Keeping in mind that your charcoal kiln, which is a village structure, you just need 200 coins to get this one, and you can build wooden hoes and shovels and stone adzes until you can afford this one, and go gather up your clay right outside of Sasogi with that wooden shovel that you built at your workshop. As we look into getting our needs taken care of for heating, remember that you can go into priorities and you can tell the game which things your characters can use and can't use. I won't be making straw cloaks, but if they're ever in there, they can take them. And oil is a high priority, meaning that it will be used rapidly. Charcoal is next, so if you don't want them using oil because you have a purpose for it, like making tempura, you may want to uncheck that. Otherwise, keep it checked. And then charcoal is good, firewood is good, but I would not want it to, I don't want them to consume my paper bark, and I don't really want them to consume my sticks because they'll go away instantly if I somehow got to that point. The bark we'll be using to build certain structures. So from here, when we look at our workstations, it's going to be easy to get ourselves lumber, right? We just need an axe, and early in the game, the multipliers matter because you'll get more logs. And I'm going to show you a trick with this multiplier to get you free logs out of thin air. So from here, we can also assign our workers to get firewood, and from that they will churn and burn through all of our logs. They're using up all 33 that we produced, that's the maximum workload, and we'll get all of this firewood. I find it's better for my character to do this work just because it doesn't take that long, and then I'm not wasting an intermediary step. You can also have them gathering other logs, but keep in mind that certain things require, when they say mother loads, they mean regional areas to gather things. So when we look at our map, there are certain regions that have certain items. So the Iwasaki region has our premium conifer, and so does the eastern swamps, and premium deciduous and paper trees are in central plains. Then we start looking at the other areas and we see premium conifers in a lot, and then our premium deciduous and fruit trees are here. Fruit trees being isolated to just these two, and paper trees being isolated to these two and here. So Central Plains and paper trees in Temple and Aratane, fruit trees only in Aratane and the Temple, and then no trees that we can harvest as a mother lode here, but we have plenty of access to other ones out and about. These logs do not make any difference for making firewood. It doesn't matter what log type you have, they always make the same amount of firewood. They always make 6 planks for the maintenance needs, and the maintenance amount is different, but that's for a whole nother video. In order to assign your workers for catching fish, you'll be in your fisherman's workplace. You can have them catching raw fish, you just need a net. You can get up to 66 fish at base. Then when you want to make oil, keep in mind that you can only get a maximum of 40 oil. It is capped now. It used to be 66, which is the same amount you could catch in fish. It has now been changed to just 40. That's still 1,800 food or heating needs, so that's just fine. For your oil press worker, when you assign them, you'll be able to make your oil, but again, we'll have to have canola in order to make this possible. And keep in mind that these can be just bought by merchants in Aratane, or you can be farming them in your fields. And now for our magic trick. You can see in my wood storage that I have exactly 33 logs that were just produced today. Now, we're going to move some things around. Now, as you saw, those were conifer logs. You can see here that I have this not in red. I'm going to select that. 33 conifer logs, right? I have 33 coniferous logs. That is all I have. You saw in my storage that I only have 33 of those logs. With my stone adze equipped, you'll see that I'm going to get 33 debarked logs, because there's only 33 debarked logs. The law of conservation of matter would tell us that there can only be 33 conifer logs to turn into debarked logs. But luckily for us, the calculation for when you get your bonus resources from tools happens after the logs have been accounted for, which means my 33 logs tomorrow will become 42. Let's see that in action. Oh, we're gonna have to do one more sleeping through the day. Uh-oh, just missed it. And that sound means we just produced items, and it's time to check our wood storage and see that we somehow have gained extra logs. And isn't that nice? I have 9 free logs that came out of nowhere. And that is free resources for us. So, if you're interested in this trick, this is a way to get absolutely free resources. I just gained extra logs from thin air. Now, obviously, your workers in your workstations can just keep gathering logs forever, and they're free anyway, because as long as you assign an axe to them, they just pull the logs out of thin air anyway. But if you are looking to get a little extra, then by assigning a better tool and debarking your logs rather than just going straight from the logs to planks or from the logs to firewood, you're gaining free resources there. I hope this video has been helpful for you, and if you want to see a little more of the spreadsheet in action, let's do that. Our tab for maintenance has a space at the bottom where you can actually select and go through and get things. So let's say that I have 2 canola fields and I know I'm going to produce resources. I want to have 2 workers making heating needs for me. Well, here I selected that I have 2 workers for canola, and it automatically is calculating how many I get taken away. What if I had 3 workers? Ooh, I'm going to be a little short here. That's unfortunate. So if I wanted to have 3 workers to get 16,000 canola, which is absolutely absurd, I could do that. I can also get rid of this and say, let's not do that. Instead, let's say I'm going to make oil out of fish, and I have a target. I need 5,000. Ooh, I'm going to need 120 fish. Well, that'll take me 2 workers will give me 12 spare fish, so I can deal with having more food. And that'll be nice. These all are calculated through using the items up here, and if you need to make any edits to these because you have, say, better worker productivity training, then you can click on this to change it. So now you're producing 76 per, and as you can see, now I see that I get 32 out of this. I will also obviously have to make sure that I change my oil producer at the same time. So producing oil out of fish gives me this. So now look at that. I'll have 14 spare fish because of my extra productivity, but now I've got 6,000 from my heating needs. And if you want to make, let's see here, let's say if we want to use firewood, we have 120. Oh, I'm going to need to pull that from different logs. For right now, I can't tell it to just pull any log just yet. I still need to learn a little more about how to code this in. And then I'll know how to say, take any log from any of these places. So don't take from here if this is 0. Otherwise, it just takes from whatever slot I want or gives me error. So I'll look into seeing if I can do that. But for now, I hope this is helpful for you. Take care until next time.